I putted nicely today, the last 2 days, and I just hit a lot of 5-woods today with the tees, just getting myself in play and see if I can, make a few putts on the greens, and hitting the ball nicely, and the wind was, between southwest and west the whole day, and sometimes you get a big gust, but I just tried to hit my lower shots and take the wind out of play, but it only works now and then.
That was big game hunter Louis Oosthuizen talking about his second round performance at the Players. It was completed on Friday, and we have co-leaders at 9 under par, Scotty Oosthuizen and Kyle Stanley, a former wonderkind of sorts out of Clemson. Scott, what were your overall takeaways from round 2 of the Players, one of the biggest tournaments that we see all year outside of the 4 majors?
Before I give you my 4 key takeaways from round 2 and where we stand after 36 holes heading into the weekend, which will be a soggy Saturday, at least in the forecast. You see Stanley Clemson product had the humbling nature after winning in Phoenix 4 years ago to go back to the Web.com tour. J.V. Holmes, a bomber. Vijay Singh, 52 years old. What? David Hearn, precision Canadian. Louis Oosthuizen probably has the sweetest golf swing, in my opinion, the reason to watch. And then you see a lot of guys chasing from even to 2 under. Really the most notable player to miss the cut, Jordan Spieth, hit it in the water on 17. As for the takeaways, we'll start with Vijay Singh, which I think was the biggest story. At one point was leading this golf tournament. This has been his home course for nearly 15 years. No one practices more than he has. He actually has dialed it back. Case in point, I've asked him before, if you didn't practice on Christmas Day, because it's Christmas, how would you feel on the 26th? He'd say, I feel paranoid. He doesn't want to take a day off. You see putting, and by the way, there just weren't that many close birdie attempts by anyone with a lot of wind and difficult pin locations on Friday. You can't hit in the water. Rarely will you win the Players if any of the 4 days you hit it in the water. He obviously hit a great one there. Pin location will be back up front on Saturday. Let's go to number 2, Jordan Spieth. Yeah, I mean, at this point, what do we take from this week? On Thursday, on the number 1, his 10th hole, we're watching golf from him today, just slid right under an amateur play. He is not entirely dialed in. This is his tee shot on Friday on 17. It would find the water as it would roll through. He's right now a beat off the U.S. Open, which he won 2 years ago at Erin Hills, should be his target. Again, for elite players like him, who has 2 majors under his belt, each in 15, you have 3 majors in the next 4 months. Those are his targets. So even though the Players is a huge deal, he can look towards this and say, we now need to set ourselves up for Erin Hills. He'll have 2 starts from there. 17, as you saw, 1 go in the water there. Here was Mickelson. Mickelson at one point, Tyler, was 2 shots off the lead. He would have a very similar approach in here as Spieth did. Didn't hold. Greens are firm. Course is not as soft as it was last year. A lot of guys found the water. In fact, 29 of them. Here, wow. Look at Spieth again. It's a record. No round in the history of TPC Sawgrass hosting the Players have there been more balls to find the water. By the way, Zach Blair, the best contributor, he hit 3 of them. 3 of them. Now, a lot of guys, and it's interesting, something you should pay attention to on the weekend, as we're now seeing the second one from Blair. Guys over on the left side could drop off at the drop area zone, which is then a mid-shot, 80-yard shot onto a green that has no room for error, or you hit your stock 9-iron. By and large, guys hit 9-iron here. Here's Blair's 3rd. He eventually hit his 7th shot from the tee, and he would finally find ground. Finally, and I think this is probably the most important one, as we see one more here hit the water. This was one of the closer ones. Excuse me. From
is that Cody Gribble?
Yeah, this is Cody Gribble, who was most known this year for pushing a gator off into the lake at Bay Hill. Garcia, this is luck, by the way. I know holes in 1 are luck, as he had on Thursday. This one hits the bank in the front and advances to the middle of the green. When life is going well, you win the Masters, you get to go and have the first kick.
He was due for a little luck.
Yeah, good for him. We're happy for him. He worked hard. 17 years later, he's finally got a major. And finally, the leaderboard. The leaderboard is extremely wide open. We showed the leaderboard at the beginning of this segment. You have guys that have different strengths
Mhm.
from top to bottom. Case in point, also, you need a complete package to win this event. The fairways that Pete Dye have designed on purpose pinch fairways to equalize landing areas. So the bombers will be hitting their second shots where a lot of the precision players are. So it leads a lot of benefit to the precision players because it's basically a lot of par threes, assuming everybody hits fairways. You have Louis Oosthuizen, who can be a bomber. JB Holmes can be a bomber, but you have a lot of guys at 5 to 7 under, including Kyle Stanley, that are more of a precision-based player.